On the news tonight, reps withdrawn compulsory voting bill. Governor Adeleke prioritizes grassroots development despite Norgay strike. While on the foreign scene, Ghana closes its embassy in the US over corruption scandal. Good evening and welcome to the major reports. I am Molubumi Ajiboye Agbola. The leader of the Senate, Senator Opeyemi Bamidele, has rejected claims by opposition parties that the National Assembly under President Bola Tinubu's administration is merely a rubber stamp institution. Senator Bamidele said such accusations do not reflect the reality of legislative-executive relations, particularly referencing the extensive process involved in the passage of the 2024 tax reform bills. In a statement released by the Directorate of Media and Public Affairs, Office of the Senate Leader, Senator Bamidele pointed out that the National Assembly, since its inauguration on June 13, 2023, has prioritized strategic engagement and constructive dialogue in addressing complex national issues. He explained that the 2024 tax reform bills introduced in November last year underwent rigorous scrutiny for 6 months before their eventual passage, and its outcome demonstrates the independence and diligence of the legislature. The Senate leader explained that in the process of passing the bills, both executive and legislative arms held over 39 engagements to thrash gray areas in the tax reform bills last year before both chambers of the National Assembly passed the bills. He added that the debates involved broad consultations with stakeholders across the country to ensure the bills were comprehensive and effective in the best interest of Nigerians. Meanwhile, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, has withdrawn a bill seeking to make voting mandatory for all eligible Nigerians. The bill, co-sponsored by Honorable Daniel Ago, aimed to amend the Electoral Act 2022 to enforce compulsory voting as a means of deepening democratic participation. In a statement by a special advisor on media and publicity, Musa Krishi, the Speaker said the decision followed extensive consultations with a broad spectrum of stakeholders across the country. The Speaker had earlier noted that compulsory voting has helped sustain participation rates above 90% in countries such as Australia, Belgium, and Brazil, with similar practices adopted in Argentina and Singapore, emphasizing that Nigeria must pursue democratic reforms that reflect its unique context and public sentiment. Honorable Abbas, however, noted that rather than compelling citizens to vote, expressed commitment to exploring alternative, non-coercive measures that incentivize participation, especially among young and first-time voters. The Minister of Solid Minerals and Development, Adeleke, has said that Nigeria's solid minerals sector, driven by the President Bola Tinubu's administration, new policy of local value addition, and the tightened licensing regime, attracted over $800 million in processing projects last year. Mr. Adeleke noted that the sector also generated over 38 billion naira in revenue in 2024, up from just 6 billion naira the previous year, despite receiving only 18% of its 29 billion naira budgeted allocation. The minister revealed this during an interview with newsmen, noting that the sector has witnessed an increase in investor interest buoyed by the administration's mining sector reforms. He listed the $600 million lithium processing plant near the Kaduna-Niger border to be commissioned this quarter, the $200 million lithium refinery on the outskirts of Abuja nearing completion, and 2 additional processing plants in Nasarawa State slated for commissioning before third quarter of this year. Meanwhile, stakeholders in the mining sector had advocated for the removal of the mineral resources from the exclusive list to the concurrent list in the 1999 Constitution, noting that such removal will present healthy synergy between the state, host community, and investors. In another development, the federal government has launched a new air cargo corridor linking Nigeria to Kenya, Uganda, and South Africa. The corridor was flagged off by the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Oduwole, in partnership with Uganda Airlines and the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP. Dr. Oduwole described the initiative as a transformative step for Nigerian businesses, especially micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, MSMEs, who have long been constrained by exorbitant shipping costs and slow customs processes. According to her, the route, which is part of the African Continental Free Trade Area (AFTA) guided trade initiative, is expected to cut export logistics costs by as much as 75% and connect Nigerian products to African markets faster and make its exporter more competitive. It was learned that the first batch of cargo under the AFTA air corridor was dispatched from Lagos, comprising cosmetics, textile products, and processed food items. The Trade Ministry revealed that over 200 MSMEs had already registered to take advantage of the corridor, with more expected in the coming weeks. Meanwhile, UNDP's president's representative in Nigeria, Mohammed Yahya, said the corridor underscores the shift from policy declarations to practical solutions. The federal government is set to establish industrial hubs in 4 states of the federation as part of strategies to drive economic transformation and industrialization across the country. Temiloluwa Omoyeni has details of the story and others.
The Minister of State for Industry, Senator John Enoh, disclosed this during the 16th National Council on Industry, Trade and Investment with the theme Accelerating Diversification by Leveraging Industry, Trade and Investment for Shared Prosperity. He stated that the hubs are to be sited in Lagos, Ogun, Kano and Abia states in furtherance to the government's industrialization agenda accord on the Industrial Revolution Work Group. The Industrial Revolution Work Group initiative aims to rejuvenate, innovate, and elevate Nigeria's industry future through stakeholders' engagement, evidence-based policy development, and consistent implementation. Enoh stated that the establishment of the industrial hubs aligns with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu, which seeks to promote economic diversification and sustainable development. Furthermore, the minister called on the stakeholders, including federal and state governments, the private sector, and development partners, to align with the IRWJ initiative and contribute to the realization of Nigeria's industrial goal. In another development, the National Pension Commission has insisted that the parent companies, subsidiaries, and institutional shareholders in a licensed pension fund operator must hold a valid pension clearance certificate. The statement was made by the Commission, where it clarified that the investors of a PFO were not exempted from its earlier circular barring PFOs from engaging vendors without valid PCCS. The circular, which was signed by the head of Surveillance Department, A.M. Salim, said the parent companies, subsidiaries, holding companies and institutional shareholders of licensed pension funds operators shall possess valid pension clearance certificates and ensure that every vendor and service provider engaged by them complies with the requirements of the PCC as a recondition for entering into any service level or technical agreement. The Commission went on to give a 6-month window to licensed pension fund operators to enforce compliance with the Pension Reform Act 2014 across their vendor networks, parent companies, subsidiaries, and institutional shareholders. Meanwhile, the federal government has called for the strategic deployment of the nation's pension assets to accelerate national development, describing the industry as a key engine for long-term growth. However, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, highlighted the critical role of pension industry in driving Nigeria's economic growth and development, stressing the need to align investment with national priorities. Temilolu Omoyeni reporting for OSBC News.
Development at the grassroots level across Osun State has been ongoing, unabated, despite the strike embarked upon by members of the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees (NOGE) in the state. This is sequel to Governor Ademola Adeleke's passion for even distribution of dividends of democracy in all the nooks and crannies of the state. Commissioner for Rural Development and Community Affairs, Alhaji Gani Olaoluwa, disclosed this while speaking as guest on a Mole Ayo program, which promotes the activities of Governor Ademola Adeleke's administration on radio and television channels of Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, OSBC. The commissioner pointed out that no fewer than 900 boreholes have been sunk by the Ministry of Rural Development and Community Affairs for the use of rural dwellers, while several transformers were also distributed to towns and villages to make life comfortable for the people. Other social amenities provided for the rural areas across the state, according to the commissioner, include motorable roads through the Osun Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Project, ORAM, to enable farmers to transport their farm produce to markets in urban centers with ease. The rest include renovation of schools in deplorable conditions, renovation and construction of primary health care centers, construction of public toilets, and rural electrification, among others, through the Community and Social Development Agency. Alhaji Olaoluwa commended the community development associations in the state for their unalloyed support for Governor Ademola Adeleke's administration, noting that such cooperation has been the catalyst for the development being witnessed throughout the state. The Director General and Permanent Secretary of Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Mrs. Jolade Igbarola, has been awarded with the prestigious award of Icon of Broadcasting and Exceptional Leadership for repositioning the corporation to an amiable height. The Advanced Management Academy, Abuja, in collaboration with the National Body of Nigeria Institute of Public Relations, gave the award when the body paid a courtesy visit to the management of the corporation. Akiwumi Akinyele has details.
Recognition of our outstanding leadership style, the Advanced Management Academy, Abuja, in collaboration with the National Body of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, awarded the OSBC Director General and Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Jolade Igbarola, with the prestigious award of Icon of Broadcasting and Exceptional Leadership.
In recognition of your immense contribution to broadcast journalism and excellent leadership quality.
Speaking shortly after receiving the award, the Director General Permanent Secretary, who felt highly honored, was grateful to God for the award bestowed her in recognition of her contributions to the broadcasting service in the country, noting that the award represents a call to service. Mrs. Igbarola, while dedicating the award to God Almighty and the entire management of the broadcast outfit, reiterated her zeal to strive hard in repositioning the corporation in line with the vision and commitment of Governor Ademola Adeleke, who has made giant strides in turning the corporation around, which is now yielding positive impact for the teeming audience.
I feel highly honored, and because when you were giving me the program, I could say that those that were honored were selected few, and for counting me worthy, I want to appreciate you.
In his remarks, the Chief Executive Officer of the Academy and Fellow of NIPR, Dr. Peter Oyeneye, lauded the leadership style of Mrs. Igbarola, noting that the Institute will continue to collaborate with the corporation that will be beneficial for the entire OSBC staff and the NIPR.
And I have better understanding of what she's doing here. I knew part before, and I have a better and a complete knowledge of who she is and the level she has attained and how she has taken this broadcasting outfit to the next level, which she's still doing.
The award premised on the 2025 International Women's Day celebration. On the entourage of the CEO includes Mr. Adeleke, Fellow NIPR, Mrs. Bisola Ariwodola, Associate of NIPR, Chairperson, Nawatch Osun State Chapter, and Mr. Ademola Adesoji, Chairman, NIPR Osun State Chapter, while few management members of OSBC were in attendance. It has been Akewubi Akinyele reporting.
The Federal Capital Territory Police Command has confirmed a kidnapping incident in the Groes Home Estate located in Kuchibuyi village in the Basin area of Abuja. It was reported that unidentified armed men invaded the estate situated within the Chikakore axis in the Kubwa area of Abuja, holding residents hostage for at least an hour. Confirming the incident, the FCT command, in a statement issued by its police public relations officer SP Josephine Ade, said 2 persons were abducted by the criminals. She explained that the command received a distress call from police officers stationed in front of the estate at about 1 o'clock in the morning, reporting an attack by armed assailants and requesting reinforcements. SP Ade said upon swift deployment to the scene, it was discovered that the armed attackers had breached the estate gate through the rear perimeter fence and forcefully abducted 2 victims. She added that police officers exchanged gunfire with the attackers and rescued one of the victims, identified as Chinyere Joe, but the attackers escaped with the second victim. Some youths have set part of the Rano Divisional Police Station in Kano State on fire after a young man, Abdullahi Musa, died in police custody during interrogation. According to reports, Musa was arrested after being accused of a traffic offense and later died while in police custody, which caused outrage in the community. The protest, which started peacefully, turned violent as angry youth damaged part of this police station and set some vehicles on fire. Reports added that the situation worsened when police officers allegedly opened fire on the crowd, injuring 2 men. The command's public relations officer, SP Abdullahi Haruna, confirmed the incident, saying it was part of the police station that was destroyed by the protesters. He added that the Commissioner of Police, along with the local government chairman, had visited the area. At least 42 people, including a police officer, have been reportedly murdered by suspected armed herdsmen in a fresh attack on communities in the Gwe West local government area of Benue State. According to sources in the area, the attacks started at the Andona community, where over 20 persons were killed, and spilled over to Aombe, Tulaha, and Se Obiam, close to a military checkpoint where over 22 persons were murdered by the marauders. This came less than 24 hours after a priest was shot in the area by the marauders and the occupants of his house whisked away by the invaders. The chairman of the Great West local government area, Mr. Victor Omi, lamented the development, describing it as a genocide, as they were still recovering corpses and over 30 dead bodies have been recovered so far. Reacting to the attack, Governor Hyacinth Alia, who expressed outrage over the incident, described the attacks as barbaric and the criminals masquerading as herders whose actions revealed a blatant disregard for human life and the sanctity of the communities would not be tolerated. The governor reaffirmed his commitment to the safety and security of the people of the state. You are welcome to the sports segment. The Taekwondo event at the 2024 National Sports Festival held in Ogun State ended in grand fashion at Babcock University, with Delta and Oyo States emerging first and second respectively, in the medal standings. And Okechukwu has details of the report.
Is the martial art dominance, with a total of 11 media each, affirming their position as powerhouses in the sport. Delta State claimed the top rank with an impressive 5 gold medals, 2 silver, and 4 bronze. Oyo State, not to be outdone, marked Delta in total media, but settled for second place due to a slightly lower gold count. Osun State came third with 3 gold medals, 1 silver, and 2 bronze. Their compact but impactful medal collection reflected a highly effective campaign, as their fighters were praised for their technical pension and tactical awareness. The host state took 4th place on the table. Despite winning just 2 golds, the host team collected the highest number of 5 silver medals, along with 3 bronze medals, which delighted the home crowd and added excitement to the atmosphere. Bayelsa, Rivers, Edo, Nasarawa, Abia, and a host of other states also made their marks on the medal table. In another development, Tobi Amusan stopped to victory in the women 100-meter hurdle at the Diamond League meet in Rabat, Morocco, delivering a commanding performance that signaled a strong return to form. The 20-year-old Nigerian star clocked a season-best 12.24 seconds, smashing the previous meet record of 12.51 seconds set by Biana. The win not only handed Amusan her first major trophy of the 2025 season, but also reasserted her position among the world's earliest hurdlers. Her road to this moment, however, hasn't been smooth. Amusan opened her Diamond League campaign in May with back-to-back 4th place finish in Zambia and Shanghai, showing flashes of form but missing the podium. Earlier in March, she claimed a comfortable victory at Velocity Feast 16 in Jamaica, although against a modest field. This latest win in Rabat marks a turning point following a frustrating end to her 2024 season, when she fell short of the finals at the Paris Olympics. And Okechukwu reporting for OSBC.
And moving on to the foreign scene, Ghana has temporarily shut down its embassy in Washington, D.C. after a major corruption scandal involving visa fraud and unauthorized payments was uncovered by a special audit. Patience Adeleke completes the story.
Mr. Samuel Blakwa made this announcement, describing it as a necessary step to restore integrity and accountability in Ghana's diplomatic missions abroad. Ablakwa added that the action is part of decisive effort to reconstruct and repair embassy operations following shocking audit findings. The audit revealed that Fred Kwateng, a locally hired IT officer at the embassy since 2017, created an unauthorized link on the embassy's website which redirected visa and passport applicants to his private company, Ghana Travel Consultants, where they charge unofficial fees. The case has been referred to Ghana's Attorney General for possible prosecution and recovery of misused public funds. However, all foreign ministry staff posted to the Washington, D.C. embassy have been recalled to Accra. Ablakwa insisted that firm action is necessary to clean up the system, acknowledging that the closure may cause for Ghana's and foreigners needing consular services. The head of an organization set up to distribute aid in Gaza as part of a controversial Israel-backed plan, Jake Wood, has resigned, saying it could not work in a way that adhered to humanitarian principles. Wood quit the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, saying it would not be able to fulfill the principles of humanity, neutrality, impartiality, and independence. The plan, which was backed by the US, was criticized by the United Nations, envisions private contractors delivering aid to Palestinians via Israel-designated distribution sites. Israel insisted the plan is needed to stop Hamas stealing aid, which the armed group denies doing. Under the GHF plan, Palestinians would be expected to collect boxes weighing up to 20 kg containing food and basic hygiene items from 4 distribution points in southern Gaza. In the resignation statement, Wood said he was proud of the work he oversaw, including developing a pragmatic plan that could feed hungry people, address security concerns about diversion, and implement the work of long-standing NGOs in Gaza. But it had become clear that it is not possible to implement the plan while also strictly adhering to the humanitarian principles of humanity, neutrality, impartiality, and independence, which he will not abandon. Patience Ezike, OSBC News.
And that ends the major reports on OSBC TV. It was edited by Michael Adeleke. I am Olubumi Ajiboye Agbola, wishing you a pleasant evening. Good night.
Money on my mind. Care what they yarning about me in particular. Out here on the road chasing my dream because I know I'm chasing for me.
Mr. Chef Mixed Spices Seasoning Cube don't land with all your rich spices where you love inside one cube. Mr. Chef Mixed Spices Seasoning Cube. Spice mix exactly the way you like them. They available for seasoning cube. Try them today.
Some say learning is fun, but as a mom, I see how demanding it can be for my child. That's why I ensure he starts every day with a cup of Bonvita. Give your child Bonvita. It contains essential vitamins and minerals that support mental and physical vitality. Bonvita. Prepare them to win every day.
Money on my mind. Care what they yarning about me in particular. Out here on the road chasing my dream because I know I'm chasing for me. If you want to let you come alone, if you find anybody na money I want the hear what the people they do. Want to get a shakeleti love. See love and I want to get another one. I go take and do waiting I love. Waiting you love. Let me waiting I love. Waiting I love. I go. We don't want to go be vodka. Mr. Money Changer. But I know the ways that Mr. Money Changer. Just carry on, if you no time. Bad boy day, me I dey fine. And at the same time,